When German rivals were merely thinking about hybrid technology, Lexus brought it to market in the shape of their luxurious and fast yet frugally efficient GS450h executive saloon. It remains one of the most advanced cars of its kind and one of the most affordable to run.
When you've reached the point in life when you, or more likely your company, can spend £40,000 to £50,000 on a luxury executive saloon, then you probably earn the right to splash out a bit. On automotive gadgetry, of course, but also on performance. Something that will shoot supercar style to 60 in under 6 seconds would be ideal, but very politically incorrect. Asking your employees to turn off their screensavers at night, then parking a V8 petrol-powered super saloon in the company car park just isn't going to wash. Unless, perhaps, it's one of these. Lexus GS450h. Here, of course, is the appeal of hybrid technology. It can take an apparently planet-polluting petrol-powered executive saloon weighing nearly 2 tonnes and capable of outsprinting a Porsche, and make it deliver fuel and CO2 returns only marginally less frugal than your local sales rep's 1.6 litre Ford Focus. Now, diesel rivals can do this too, but they usually cost more to tax and service, pump out more harmful NOx and hydrocarbon emissions into the air, and lack the same whisper quietness. For thinking executives then, the future starts here. Or does it? Let's try this car and find out.
This car is badged GS450 for a reason, which is, very simply, that coupled with an electric motor, this model's smooth 292 brake horsepower petrol V6 has a combined 341 brake horsepower output akin to that of a 4.5 litre petrol V8.
And sure enough, you'd need a petrol-powered BMW 550i or Jaguar XF 5 litre V8 to shade this car's 5.9 second 0 to 60 mile an hour sprint time. Now, both of those brands will have a ready answer for that in the form of high-powered diesel derivatives that keep the performance but not the cost of providing it. But Lexus has an answer to that too, and it's loudly proclaimed in the sound of silence that's a signature of GS450h ownership. Let me tell you how it is. You get in, luxuriate in the beautiful leather seats and admire the carefully crafted cabin before pressing the power starter button, to be greeted by almost nothing. The car's running, sure enough, it's just that at this point it's doing so under battery power alone, and if you've a gentle right foot, that's all it'll continue to do up to speeds of around 30 miles an hour, when the V6 engine will silently cut in. Like most hybrids, the car can trickle along powered by the 288 volt nickel metal hydride battery pack as it is on startup, or with just the engine if you're giving it full acceleration, or more usually with a combination of both. And there's the usual hybrid benefit that power that would otherwise be lost while braking or accelerating can be used to charge the battery pack that drives the electric motor, which is why you never have to plug the batteries in and recharge them. What all this cleverness creates is an executive saloon that glides away from rest, then storms forward as if magnetically attracted by the horizon if you keep your right foot planted on the floor. But what about when the road starts to twist and turn? Well, this isn't a sports saloon, designed instead to lower its driver's heartbeat rather than raise it. But Lexus has equipped this GS with enough technical wizardry so that the car can keep its composure if fast cross-country motoring is called for. The adaptive variable suspension with its switchable sport and normal settings is an obvious example, and this, together with a whole series of features designed to manage braking, stability and traction, are designed to function together as part of a clever VDIM, Vehicle Dynamics Integrated Management System, that takes all of this wizardry and makes it function collectively together for you to achieve the optimum result. The GS looks a large car, and a distinctive one with its steeply raked rear screen and ground-hugging stance. It's a slippery look that's been enhanced in recent times by the addition of a smarter front grille and restyled hybrid blue rear lamp clusters. The shape may date back to 2005, but it's wearing well. But can the same be said of the interior? Let's find out. Here in the back there's generous space for 2 occupants, but the prominency of the transmission tunnel means that legroom for the middle berth is very restricted. Now that won't have overly bothered this model's most famous ex-owner, Prime Minister David Cameron, but he may well have balked at the size of the boot. Those batteries take up so much space that total capacity is reduced to just 280 litres, about half what you get in a BMW 5 Series. 2 large suitcases would probably fit, but not a lot else. At least you get this concealed compartment under the boot floor to keep valuables away from prying eyes. If you can live with that, then there are many compensations. Entering a Lexus should be a very special experience, and so it proves when you take a seat up front. Comfortable and spacious, the interior of this car is a haven of luxury and peace. Wood and leather flow seamlessly together, and the instruments, spun aluminium discs fronted by glass able to vary its transparency based on the light conditions, are a work of art. It's even nicer to enter this car at night because various aspects, the lights for the door handles, the interior lights, the footwell lights, the spotlights that light up the gear selector and the steering wheel, they activate in sequence as you approach and enter. Lovely. Expect to pay in the £45,000 to £50,000 bracket for your Lexus GS 450h. It's an exalted price point, and one at which it's quite hard to find obvious executive saloon rivals. In the absence of much hybrid competition, you'll probably be looking at a powerful diesel, but only BMW's 535D really has the pace to keep up with this car, and the £1,000 or so saving that it offers up front would quickly be compensated for in the case of this Lexus by the GS's obvious tax advantages. All GS 450h models also feature an exhaustive rota of standard equipment. Leather trim is standard, as are electrically heated front seats, smarter alloys, headlamps that swivel with the steering, a 10 or 14 speaker premium surround sound system, Bluetooth connectivity, and a touchscreen multi-information system. Buyers can also enjoy a 40 gigabyte hard disk drive HDD navigation system with Europe-wide compatibility, able to capture traffic information data from whichever European country you happen to be driving in. The HDD system also has 10 gigabytes of memory left over to enable owners to create their own audio sound library of digital audio files. It can store up to 2,000 tracks. More importantly, the pre-crash safety system has been revised to support the pre-crash seatbelt and brake assist functions with pre-crash brake technology. You also get revised inflator-operated active head restraints to limit the effects of whiplash in a rear-end shunt. Plus there are at least 10 airbags and all the electronic stability, traction and braking aids you can possibly imagine. If you have any qualms about the viability of hybrid technology, then just take a look at the figures on offer here. The headline ones are a combined fuel economy reading of 37.2 miles to the gallon and a CO2 figure of 179 grams per kilometre. Now, you might struggle to replicate those in real-world motoring, but you can at least keep an eye on how close you're getting via a whole series of graphical layouts on the central display screen. Or you can just chill out and accept Lexus's assurance that you're at the wheel of one of the most frugal cars of its kind. It certainly feels that way if you monitor which power sources are being used by the hybrid Synergy drive system via a whole series of graphical displays, either a large one in the center screen here or a summarized version in the instrument dash ahead of you. It's true that, as I said earlier, there are a few diesel derivatives of rival models able to match or even improve upon this Lexus's performance and economy balance. But before you opt for one of those, you need to take into account the savings that this GS should offer when it comes to issues of taxable benefit, road fund license, servicing costs, congestion charge exemption and cheaper petrol rather than diesel fuel, and the fact that it puts out fewer harmful NOx and hydrocarbon emissions. What else might you need to know? The hybrid system's nickel metal hydride batteries, well, they're zero maintenance items guaranteed for up to 100,000 miles. Insurance, Group 41. Residual values, not quite as good as the top German brands, but pretty close and very strong nonetheless. Here's a very fast, very luxurious executive saloon that takes a different approach. Some German rivals attempt to dismiss its hybrid powertrain as a novelty, while feverishly trying to develop their own behind closed doors. Look closely at what's on offer though, and the truth is very different. Hybrid powertrains like this aren't a total solution to the automotive pollution we're inflicting on our planet, but the technology that this Lexus pioneered in its sector represents an important step forward. It also helps this GS450H's cause that the free-flowing pulling power delivered by the hybrid Synergy drive system suits its effortlessly refined character very well. Add in high equipment levels, famed reliability, and an efficient dealer network, and you can see why this car has attracted so many high-profile owners. The shape of things to come? Well, it's a start, and a very stylish one.